Welcome to Zoe Stories. I got caught by my aunt in a girl's outfit. My name is Jason, a 19-year-old college student. On the surface, I lead a seemingly ordinary life, blending in with everyone around me. However, behind closed doors, I nurture a hidden passion that I've kept secret from the world: cross-dressing. This journey began when I was 14, and since then, it's been an integral part of my true self. I stumbled upon a forgotten pair of my mother's pantyhose, carefully tucked away in a drawer. Curiosity got the better of me, and that curiosity soon transformed into fascination. The thrill of the silky material against my skin was undeniable and grew over the years. Over the years, my collection of feminine clothing expanded to include pantyhose, dresses, skirts, blouses, and even makeup. Each piece brought me an inexplicable joy and comfort, offering a sense of completeness I couldn't find anywhere else. I had kept my secret well hidden, as my parents were often busy with work, giving me plenty of time alone at home. However, this summer was going to be different. My parents decided to spend 3 months traveling through Europe, leaving me under the care of my aunt. The news of Aunt Isabel's arrival filled me with both excitement and dread. My mother's older sister, Isabel, was in her mid-40s and exuded sophistication and sharp wit. She had always appeared to have everything perfectly in order. A successful lawyer in a bustling city, Aunt Isabel's visits were typically brief and infrequent, dictated by her demanding schedule. I admired her confidence and grace, but the prospect of having her around all summer was nerve-wracking. How was I supposed to maintain my secret with her sharp eyes around? The day Aunt Isabel arrived, I stood by the window, nervously awaiting her car. When it finally pulled up, a knot tightened in my stomach. She stepped out, looking as elegant as ever in a tailored suit, her dark hair perfectly styled, and her makeup flawless. How was I going to keep my secret with her in the house? She greeted me with a warm smile and a hug. "Jason, it's so good to see you," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with genuine delight. "You've grown so much since I last saw you." "It's good to see you too, Aunt Isabel," I replied, trying to match her enthusiasm. "How was the drive?" "Long but uneventful," she said with a relaxed smile. She waved her hand dismissively. "I'm just glad to be here now. Where should I put my things?" I helped her carry her luggage inside and showed her to the guest room. As she unpacked, I couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom. How would I manage to sneak in my dressing sessions with her around all the time? That evening, we had dinner together, catching up on each other's lives. Aunt Isabel shared stories from her law firm, and I talked about my college courses and summer plans, carefully avoiding any mention of my secret hobby, despite the urge to share more. As the conversation with Aunt Isabel flowed effortlessly, my initial anxiety melted away, and I began to relax. Yet, as the night deepened and Aunt Isabel retired to her room, a familiar unease crept back in. Alone in my own room, my gaze fixated on the closet where I concealed my collection of clothing. There, a compelling urge stirred within me to indulge in the soothing embrace of pantyhose against my legs, seeking solace in familiar comfort. With Aunt Isabel's presence just down the hall, the task seemed formidable. As days turned into weeks, I mastered the art of seizing fleeting chances. I became skilled at identifying those brief, elusive moments when I could indulge without detection. To indulge discreetly, I took advantage of Aunt Isabel's early morning routine. Her penchant for long, sunrise jogs granted me a precious hour each day to dress up before her return, ensuring my secret remained hidden. Carefully, I would slip into my pantyhose and don a dress, relishing each moment. Practicing my gait and speech in front of the mirror, I endeavored to refine my feminine persona. Despite the risks, the thrill of those stolen moments made it all worthwhile. One morning, as I finished tidying my room and neatly stowed away my attire, the sound of the front door opening startled me. My heart skipped a beat. Aunt Isabel had returned earlier than expected. Hurriedly concealing my belongings, I swiftly changed back into my everyday attire, hoping. "Jason, are you up?" Aunt Isabel's voice echoed from downstairs, catching me off guard. "Yeah, I'm here," I answered quickly, striving for a nonchalant tone as I rushed down the stairs. In the kitchen, Aunt Isabel stood, her gaze sweeping the room with a hint of curiosity in her expression. "I thought I heard something up in your room. Are you all right?" Aunt Isabel's inquiry caught me off guard. "Ah, yeah, just getting ready for the day," I replied, my heart racing. Her scrutinizing gaze made me uneasy, but then she smiled warmly. "All right then. I was thinking of heading into town today. Would you like to join me?" she asked. "Sure, that sounds great," I replied, relief washing over me. I responded enthusiastically, eager to steer her focus away. Throughout the day, we explored shops and cafes together, yet I couldn't shake the nagging sense that Aunt Isabel harbored suspicions. Her gaze lingered on me longer than usual, and her inquiries about my life felt unusually probing. I maintained a facade of composure, though anxiety gnawed at me incessantly. The true test arrived one evening several weeks later. Aunt Isabel had gone out to dinner with old friends, presenting me with the perfect chance to indulge in dressing up. I slipped into my favorite pair of sheer black pantyhose and a perfectly fitting red dress, feeling a rush of excitement as I twirled before the mirror, admiring my reflection. However, my joy was short-lived. Just as I was about to change back, the sound of a car pulling into the driveway sent panic surging through me. Aunt Isabel was home early. Frantically, I tried to remove the dress and pantyhose, but in my haste, I struggled with the zipper. The dress seemed to cling stubbornly, trapping me. As the front door opened, I heard her footsteps drawing closer. Frantically struggling to free myself proved futile. It was too late. Aunt Isabel walked into my room, her eyes widening in shock at the sight of me in the red dress and pantyhose. "Jason, what is this?" she stammered, clearly taken aback. I stood there frozen, my heart pounding in my chest. The secret I had guarded so fiercely was now laid bare, and a wave of shame and embarrassment washed over me. Tears welled up in my eyes as Aunt Isabel stood before me. "Aunt Isabel, I can explain," I managed to say, my voice trembling. I began, my voice trembling as Aunt Isabel took a deep breath. Her initial shock softened into a look of concern and curiosity. "All right, Jason. Let's sit down and talk," she said gently. We settled on the edge of my bed, and I began to pour out. My heart poured out, revealing everything about my cross-dressing, my deep affinity for feminine attire, and the years of secrecy. Aunt Isabel listened intently, her expression softening with each word. When I finally finished, a long silence hung between us. I couldn't muster the courage to meet her eyes, afraid of the judgment and rejection I anticipated. Then, unexpectedly, Aunt Isabel placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder. "Jason, thank you for being honest with me," she said gently. "I may not fully understand what you're going through, but I want you to know that I don't think any less of you for it." Her words felt like a lifeline, grounding me in reassurance. Tears streamed down my face as I looked up at Aunt Isabel. "Thank you, Aunt Isabel. I was so scared you'd hate me," I confessed. She smiled warmly, gently wiping away my tears with a tissue. "Never, Jason. You're still my nephew, and I care about you," she assured me. "We all have our secrets and struggles. The important thing is facing them with honesty and courage, and you, my dear, have shown incredible bravery today," she said with admiration in her voice. Her tone took on a playful edge, piquing my curiosity. "How about we have a little fun with this? Would you like that?" she asked. I nodded hesitantly, unsure of what she had in mind, but trusting her implicitly. Aunt Isabel stood up, extending her hand to me. "Come with me to my room. she invited warmly. "I think it's time we explored this side of you a bit more," Aunt Isabel remarked, her words tinged with gentle encouragement. With my heart pounding with anticipation, I followed her down the hall to her room. It was a space I had always admired for its elegance and style, decorated in soft hues of cream and gold. A large vanity mirror adorned one side, while a walk-in closet beckoned invitingly. I had often imagined it must be filled with beautiful clothes. "Sit here," Aunt Isabel instructed, gesturing towards a plush chair by the vanity. As I settled into the seat, she opened her closet and began pulling out an array of items: dresses, skirts, blouses, and a collection of shoes. My eyes widened at the sheer volume and variety of her wardrobe. "Let's start with something simple," she suggested warmly. Aunt Isabel held up a delicate pink dress with a soft smile. "This should look lovely on you," she remarked, her tone encouraging. Standing up, I allowed her to help me out of the dress I had been wearing, exchanging it for the pink one. The fabric felt smooth against my skin, and as I looked at my reflection in the mirror, a smile of contentment spread across my face. "Let's do something about your appearance," Aunt Isabel declared with a mischievous sparkle in her eyes. From her bag, she produced an array of cosmetics, deftly applying foundation, eyeshadow, mascara, and lipstick. Each stroke was deliberate, accompanied by her meticulous explanations of every step. When she finally finished, her work spoke volumes. I barely recognized my reflection. The change was breathtaking. It was as if the girl from my dreams had finally emerged. "You look stunning, Joanna," Aunt Isabel said, using the name she had bestowed upon me. "Yes, Joanna suits you perfectly," she added, making me blush with a blend of pride and shyness. "Thank you, Aunt Isabel," I replied gratefully. "Don't thank me just yet," Aunt Isabel teased with a wink. She delved further into her closet, emerging with a pair of elegant white heels to complement the ensemble. As I slipped them on, wobbling slightly in my attempt to find balance, she reassured me, "Don't worry, you'll get the hang of it." With encouragement in her voice, she added, "Now, let's refine your stride." The next hour flew by in a whirl of practice, walking, sitting, and posing under Aunt Isabel's patient guidance. She corrected my posture gently, urging me to embrace my femininity fully. It felt like playing dress-up, and I savored every moment of it. As the evening wore on, she teased me playfully. "Do your parents know they've secretly got a daughter?" she joked, laughter dancing in her eyes. Her eyes glinted mischievously as I giggled, relishing a newfound sense of liberation. "They're completely clueless," I confessed, savoring the clandestine thrill. Aunt Isabel chuckled softly. "It's our little secret, just between us," she remarked. With a wink filled with secrets, Aunt Isabel leaned closer. "Who knows, maybe one day they'll meet Joanna too," she whispered playfully. Her voice turned teasing as she added, "You know, Joanna, those pantyhose look absolutely stunning on you." Her eyes shimmered mischievously as she complimented, "They really highlight your legs. I bet you feel amazing in them." I blushed deeply, feeling a rush of excitement at her words. "They do feel nice," I admitted shyly. Aunt Isabel laughed lightly. "Nice? They look fabulous," she exclaimed. Her tone turned enthusiastic. "In fact, I think we should take this to the next level. How about a shopping trip tomorrow? We'll transform you into Joanna and pick out some more stunning outfits together." My heart raced at the daring suggestion. The thought of venturing out as Joanna, especially to shop for lingerie, stirred both fear and exhilaration within me. I had never envisioned myself in such a scenario, yet Aunt Isabel's contagious enthusiasm swept me along. "Do you really think we can do that?" I asked, my voice quivering with a blend of nerves and excitement. Aunt Isabel's grin was confident. "Absolutely," she exclaimed. "We'll have a blast. Besides, if you're going to fully embrace Joanna, you'll need a proper wardrobe, don't you think?" Thank you for joining us on another captivating journey through Zoe's stories. Remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a tale. Until next time, keep exploring, keep imagining, and keep believing in the magic of storytelling. See you in the next chapter.